Greetings, the purpose of the video today is to show you how to grow peas. So I'm going to give you a guide. So it's currently the 14th of February 2022, so I've got 4 lovely varieties to plant. So I have Jessy Dwarf Sugar Snap Pea, a pea with edible pods, eat the whole thing cooked or raw, just like a French bean. Grows to about 3 feet tall. The next is Champion of England Tall Climbing Pea, old variety collected by Robert Woodbridge's grandfather in 1940. And this is, as it states, a tall pea, can get to about 7 or 8 feet tall. And this one here is a variety called Meteor, bumper crop of tasty peas. So germinating these is in pots of multi-purpose compost, some this sort of size and some a little bit smaller. So basically all I do is get my multi-purpose compost and fill up my cell trays. I'm going to fill up my trays with multi-purpose compost, and this is home-based variety, standard multi-purpose compost, nothing else added to it, and put it in like this using my trowel. I like to firm it down to give the pea seeds a nice firm base in which to germinate from. We shall start here with Meteor. So just going to cut the corner off of the seed packet there and going to proceed to get some out. So they're nice healthy looking seeds, and I have quite a lot of these, so the fact that they are quite short plants, I'm going to use that to my advantage and plant plenty of these. Won't need too much in the way of supports, you see, because they are not too tall, where of course Champion of England will need a considerably higher support. Now we're going to have a good 20 of those, I think, 1 per cell tray, and then I shall proceed to cover them up with multi-purpose compost. I then put my tag in and I write what it is, so pea, and I also write the variety Meteor, and I also write the date on both sides. It can be very nice to remember when you planted things. The exact same procedure followed with Champion of England, and I've set 24 seed peas there. Same procedure here for the Jessy Dwarf Sugar Snap Peas, and I've set 10 of those. So you may have noticed I've used different size cell trays. So these ones here, there's 10 in each cell tray here, and you can see the size of each individual cell. Now ideally I would have used these sort of size trays for all of them, but it's not possible because I only have a certain amount of space for which I can put these. So for some of them I've actually used cell trays with smaller individual cells, but it won't be a problem because hopefully these will be planted out around the middle of next month, so that's around mid-March, and these should be perfectly okay where they are going to be going and put out some nice strong growth. But what I'm going to do is just give them a little bit of water. So this is the sort of watering can I use. It's really handy for when you are watering plants when they are on the windowsill, but give some water to them like this. I'm going to give these plenty of water, and these will probably germinate within 2 to 3 weeks, something like that, give or take a little bit. So these are actually going to be placed on an indoor windowsill, at least some of them are, and some other ones will be placed elsewhere. They don't actually need the light in order to germinate, they need the warmth, but inside should be perfectly okay. There is a chance that they could germinate out here in the polytunnel, but I'm not going to be leaving them out here. It's not worth it because we could still get plenty of cold weather. All that is relatively warm at the moment. So anyway, there they are, and you should be seeing these hopefully within the next 3 or 4 weeks. Whilst they're inside, I will water them probably twice a week, keep them moist, not overly soaked, and actually do them a nice bit of good. Hello, 19th of March, and today we're going to be planting out some pea plants. So I've made myself some supports here, and I've got a post here, post here, post here, and a post here. I'm referring to them as posts, but they're tree stakes. They're driven in the ground a fair bit, and I've got a nice bit of size here in order to grow my peas up. I might have to put something a bit higher for the Champion of England peas, but for the other varieties it should be just fine. Tied on here with some string. Make sure whatever method that you use to secure your, what should we call it, your supports, whatever, to your posts are secure. Mine are screwed on with a batten. So got 5 metres here, so that's just over 16 feet, and I've got 36 plants. So if my calculations are correct, they've got to go about 13 centimetres apart. So I'll show you how I'm going to be doing that. So peas like a fertile but yet well draining growing medium. This is done in the no dig style. It's a combination of compost that I brought down here and also horse manure. Looks really beautiful now, and it almost looks just like compost from one's own compost bin that's been well made, so very happy indeed. So peas don't like to dry out, so I'm going to give them plenty of water here. The fact that this growing medium is both moisture retentive but yet well draining, it's very, very handy for the growing of peas. So giving them a watering can of water, just like so. So 5 metres of wire, just over 16 foot, 13 centimetres apart. 13 centimetres is just over 5 inches. So I'm just going to put my first one in just where the, I'll call it trellis starts, just about here. So we're going to be digging a nice hole. We shall start with a variety, Champion of England. It's a tall climbing pea. Put my tag in there so I know what I'm growing. Going to proceed to take my plant out. Take care. Now, really nice looking plant there, nice root ball. Going to put it in about just a couple of mils below where that bottom leaf starts. Firm it in. And there we are. There we are, 36 pea plants planted, 22 Champion of England, 12 Meteor and 4 Jessy. So really looking forward to how these turn out. It wasn't a precise measurement, the 13 centimetres apart, but that's fine, really doesn't matter. So I had to put 2 in a little bit closer down here of the Champion of England. But anyway, let's have a closer look at the plants and you can see what they look like. So you need to make sure you protect your pea plants. So got some netting here and you can see a little bit of fleece I've got over the back there. That's just to protect that end there so that birds don't come in there and nip the tops off of these. So anyway, next what we will do is await flowering and cropping. Well, here we are on Saturday the 23rd of April and the peas really have come along down here. So we'll have a little close up and you can see what the plants look like now. So I haven't actually watered these now for some time, probably maybe up to about a month or so ago. We haven't really had much rain in that time, but they're doing very well and a nice bit of establishment has happened now. Still got the net on here to protect them. So one thing you need to make sure you do is the little tendrils of the pea plants will probably try and get onto the netting if you've done this. So you want to make sure you sort of guide them towards the sort of, what should we call that, chain link substitute, and that's much better. You don't want them to grow up your netting and be very fiddly to pick and clear it at the end of the season. So direct them up the chain link substitute, and I'm going to be leaving this netting on for a while now. I don't want to take it off yet. I'm not going to risk anything getting to these. They probably would be okay, but I'm going to wait until they get a bit bigger before I remove the netting. But yeah, anyway, don't let your peas dry out, and hopefully your peas are looking good as well. Hello, 20th of May, and here I stand in front of my lovely pea plants, looking absolutely fantastic. So, Champion of England, laden with flowers here, absolutely beautiful. Hopefully a magnificent crop to come. No bean pods formed as yet, not expecting this variety to have formed yet because it's a later season variety. And here we have Meteor, plenty of pods there, no little peas in them yet. So down here, the Jessy Sugar Snap peas, I will actually show you those because there's quite a few little pea pods on them. So, really nice. Now there's one here, let's pick it. So, won't have any peas of any real size in it yet, but it is nice to pick, you know, your peas. Look at the teeny weeny little things, but they're okay, doesn't matter. So this variety, you eat the peas and the pods. So, really sweet, nice. So yeah, loads to come and should have some magnificent pea crops to come. Weather's been perfect for peas. We've had a lot of rain, well, the last few days or so, and they absolutely adore that. And before that I was deep watering them, so made sure that they never dried out and had plenty of moisture, which pea plants do appreciate. Anyway, let's just wait a bit longer and we'll have huge crops from here. 30th of May, and wow, look at these pea plants. So loads of flowers here on the Champion of England. So this is actually a main crop pea, so you get your crop a little bit later than earlier peas, but loads of flowers, and there are some nice pea pods on there now, so just got to wait for them to sort of fatten up with some lovely peas, and they will be wonderful. So down there, the Meteor, they're actually starting to produce now, so let's have a look at those. Nice, it's lovely when you start to get your, first harvests of some delicious peas. So let's have one here. Look, we'll see what we get. Another one here, and have a good look. Had plenty of rain of late, so of course that will help. So let's see what we got. Oh yeah, nice. Just as I drop them all over the allotment floor. Really nice and sweet. And the Jessy as well. And we got some coming off of there. One here, look. So you eat the peas and the pods of these. Really crisp and juicy. Lovely. So lovely. These peas are delicious. Lovely just to eat them. So, Champion of England, and if I hold that straight up there, it's over 6 foot tall now, so that's really good. These will probably end up getting taller. They can get up to about 8 feet tall if I remember correctly. So yeah, we'll just await for more of the crop to come. So here we are on the 6th of June, and these peas, variety Meteor, they really are coming into their own now. So you can let them get a bit fatter if you want. Peas a bit bigger, then they might be a bit tougher. Be better off boiling them if they get to that sort of size. When they're smaller, they tend to be a bit more tender and nice to sort of eat straight off the vine. So let's have a look. So I'm going to pick them. So let's find one that's quite full. So this one here, right? Right, let's just open that. So when they're like this sort of size, you can see how I'm opening these here. I'll give you a close up. When they're like that, they tend to be better for boiling up. Although, not too bad actually. Still pretty nice eaten fresh like this. Here you go. So these ones will be quite large. Right, like that, look. So when they're like that, although you can eat them like that, they tend to be better boiled or steamed. That's my opinion anyway. So anyway, these are Jessy Sugar Snap peas. So gonna harvest a load of these today, and let's have a look. So this one here is quite a fat pod. Let's see what it's like. So there you go, you can see the peas in there are quite small. But of course, because this is a Sugar Snap pea, you can eat the whole thing, and it's still sweet and juicy. Now ones this sort of size, even better. With a Sugar Snap pea such as this, you don't let the pods get too fat, because you want them to be nice and tender. Let's do some picking. So getting plenty of them now. Nice handful here. Quite often eat them as I pick them. So anyway, got a nice harvest here of Jessy's. Gonna be more obviously. I forgot to bring a bowl down with me when I came down here to harvest these, so they'll be going in the old body warmer in this pocket. Let's have a few Meteor. Anyway, there's a little handful for today, so I'll end up coming down here another day and getting some more. Champion of England, absolutely loaded here with little pods and loads more flowers to come. So I'm looking around here, none of them have really started to fill out yet. Certainly be cheating oneself if I pick these now, because there's no real peas within the pods, to a good size yet. But there's a few in this one. Let's have a look. So yeah, they will get a lot bigger than this. No way am I even going to consider picking any more. I can't see any more advanced than that. So patience is good. And these, right, these are incredibly sweet. Absolutely delicious. So we can wrap up the Jessys. We will wrap up the Meteor. You got the general idea about those, and we shall now just wait until these yield a lovely crop. So you may have noticed that these are looking a little bit disorganised here. Had a lot of rain the other day, and the plants moved over, but sort of bowed over, if you will, with the weight, but and probably a bit of wind as well. You know, if I'd had more time, I would have tied them in and made them a nice sort of meticulous structure, but I didn't have time to do that. We can't do everything, and what I've done is I've just propped them up with some additional bamboo canes here, but these will be absolutely fine and shouldn't affect the crop at all. So here we are on the 13th of June, and I'm looking here at Pea Variety Champion of England. So you can see he really has fell over now. I didn't secure them properly. You can't do everything, you know, you can learn from what I've not done here, but there's still a massive crop on here. So the peas really are starting to come now. The pods are starting to fill out, and there's plenty to come. So let's have a look at this one. So here you go. Pull that open. Nice amount of peas in there. So what have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got 8 peas in this pod. So going to eat these lovely peas here. Really nice. Can eat them like that, but they're really a little bit beyond the stage of eating them like, you know, sort of fresh like this. They need to be steamed or boiled, but there's plenty of young ones yet to come. So lovely. I'm going to call the pea growing this year a success due to the fact that the crop is enormous and there's loads more to come, and they're already over a sustained period, and I've had peas for quite some time now. In terms of aesthetics, probably not that pleasing, but crop and productivity wise, absolutely excellent. So success. We cannot let perfection get in the way of the good, can we, when we are gardening, and indeed in many other aspects of life as well. So anyway, there you go. This concludes our pea video, and excusez-moi. If you enjoyed that video, please feel free to like, share and subscribe, etc, 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 and I'll see you in the next video.